guys, hey guys, what's going on? Your boy, the Mad Guy again. Up here today. I thought I'd do uh, a a video that's actually going back to what I kind of used to do. Um, I've been playing a lot of WWE2K23, and obviously with the new year, there's a lot of buzz around the Royal Rumble and WWE this year, and apparently we might be getting the announcement for 2K24. Now, it's obvious the game is going to come, it's just a matter of when. And so what I thought I'd do is 5 things that I would like to see from WWE 2K24. Now, personally, I've actually put a lot of time into 2K23, especially playing it with, in my opinion, it's just a great pick up and play game, with friends and stuff like that. The GM mode's a lot of fun. I've been doing a lot of that with my brothers and things like that. But so these are 5 things that I'd like to see from 2K24. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to be getting a massively improved game. It will probably be, as many sports games are, it'll be slight upgrades and new things here and there. We're not going to be getting a completely built up from the ground kind of thing. Obviously 2K20, and then obviously we missed out on 21, 22, and 21, and obviously 22 and 23 sort of were the revamped versions of the game. So the first thing I want is new match types. Now, WWE 2K23 has a fairly decent amount of match types. Obviously, the big addition this year, or last year, was the War Games mode, which, to be honest, is pretty cool. But there's still a lot of matches that are in WWE that just don't make sense to me. You've got no holds barred matches and Extreme Rules matches, and they're basically the same thing. And in my opinion, it's a bit lazy, to be honest. Like, what I'd like to see, WWE's had many match types over the years, so maybe I'd like to see some more gimmick matches, and, just off the top of my head, I Quit matches, special guest referee matches, being able to play as the referee. Those were always fun, something like the Inferno matches or Ring of Fire matches, whatever you want to call them. And obviously maybe some more gimmick type matches like the ambulance or stretcher matches, the casket matches, buried alive matches. I know WWE has sort of gone in a different direction, than it used to be, and we're never going to get those classic years back. But there's still a lot of matches that were missing from WWE 2K23, and I'd like to see some more gimmick matches and some different match types and things like that. I think it would be a lot of fun, because that's what these games are about. If you want a serious wrestling game, fine, but bring back some of those classic game modes. You look back to the old SmackDown versus Raw games and all these crazy match types you could do. And I'd love to see some of them come back, and as well as improvements to the current match type. Like I said, Extreme Rules and no holds barred matches are essentially the same thing. So if you're going to have an Extreme Rules match, maybe change it so like there's weapons all around the ring. You can do more things with the weapons and stuff like that. And maybe add extra people in the ring, like instead of 8 people, now you can have 10 people, and maybe add the 40-man Royal Rumble or the 50-man Royal Rumble, something like that. Improvements and new match types is number 1. Number 2 is an improved GM mode. Now, GM mode is where I put a lot of time into, and for the most part, it's a lot of fun. But there's still a lot of things that are missing from GM mode that I'd love to see. One thing that I think would be awesome is, again, maybe the inclusion of rivalry PLE. So, there's no Money in the Bank, there's no Royal Rumble or anything like that, or War Games. What would be really cool is every couple of months you have the rival PLE one, where you basically have to put so many matches on, but then you have a rival match where you have to put so many people from your show against, people from the other show. So, for example, you could have the Money in the Bank one, where, you put in 3 people from your show, the other players put in, 3 people from their show, for example, if you're doing one-on-one. And then what happens is if your person wins that fight, they get the money in the bank. You could always use that to cash in on the other person and steal one of their titles, or you steal money from them. Same with the Royal Rumble. You win the Royal Rumble, one of your people get a massive boost and you get more money. I know it could work. There's certain things that they could do with it, and that, and some more match types as well. And maybe some differentials between the match types, if you're going to do, because it just seems to me like you're always doing our table matches and all of this, and you get slight bonuses and things like that. But I think GM mode really needs a big up this year, and maybe improve it a little bit more. Maybe, again, I think in the inclusion of, I know a lot of people, this year, you have NXT and NXT 2.0, Raw and SmackDown and WCW. Off the top of my head, I could think of a few more ones that would be interesting to see in there. Maybe we could see ECW make a return and have that as a playable thing. Maybe one of the GMs would be like Paul Heyman and stuff like that. I think it'd be interesting. And yeah, I'd like to see improvement to GM mode. The third one is, again, better universe mode. Universe mode is where I tend to put a lot of time into WWE games, and for the most part, you can do a lot in universe mode. People have done some crazy things, especially community creations in WWE have been fantastic. Being able to create your own rings and create your own shows. If you want to make WWE Universe mode and just have purely, the Attitude Era, you can do that. Just because WWE doesn't actually have that in the base game, you can download it from other people. But one thing that really bothers me about Universe mode is this rivalry system. You're always having the same matches all the time, and I know you can change them, but for me, it kind of it is a bit sucky, and it's weird as well. It's a bit glitchy, I'd say. Sometimes it will come up saying you've got a tag team match, and then you click on it and it's a one-on-one match, and other times you can have some weird ones come up, like I had a 6-man tornado tag match, and yet the Street Profits were split, like they weren't in the same team, and it was really weird. I think it also depends on how many characters you think you've got. But one thing I'd like to see, again, bring back the promos as well. That was one thing that's missing, is the promos. They weren't fantastic or anything, but I think doing something like that gives the universe mode a bit more realism. Improving the rivalry system. You got to choose what actions you want to do, but I think I'd like to see an improved rivalry mode. So instead of having them fight every week and then they might fight a bit after the match, maybe change it, so they don't fight all the time, but you can do things like call them out and stuff like that, and it improves the rivalry. The older games had the promo mode, so why not bring that back? I think that would be really interesting. Number 4 is a new mode. Personally, I think WWE2K24 has a fairly decent amount of mode. You've got your single exhibition mode, you've got your My Rise, you've got your showcase mode, you've got your My Faction mode, and you've got the GM mode, and that, there's 5 or 6 modes, and online. Personally, I think My Faction isn't a mode that I really put a lot of time into. Obviously, it's where they make their money. All these sports games have that mode where it's all about opening packs and things and making money, and that's obviously where a lot of the new stuff gets added. So I'd like to see maybe like a new mode. So instead of My Faction, we have like a Legends mode or something like that. Showcase mode's pretty fun, and I know a lot of people I'm going to give my predictions at the end, who I think we're going to see in the next game and showcase and stuff like that. But I'd like to see maybe like a Legends mode instead of My Faction. Maybe like you do if you're going to do like every couple of weeks you update it, maybe do like a mode where it brings in like a legend, for example, where you might have to I don't know, like off the top of my head, Hulk Hogan. Like Hulk Hogan's the legend for this month, and you have to do so many challenges. You relive some of his matches, kind of like in showcase mode, but they do it like as a monthly thing where they change it each month, and you could have like Randy Orton if you want to unlock the like old school legend killer Randy Orton. You have to do so many challenges, and then you finally fight him, or you can and stuff like that. I think that would be really interesting, just off the top of my head. And last but not least is some ease of access options. WWE has a fairly good selection of the community creations and things, but there are still a few things that I think are missing. There's no creative finisher anymore. I know the creative finisher was kind of stupid back in the day, and I remember I downloaded like the Great Khali on one of them, and someone had made his finisher like 12 kicks in a row and then a punch to the head. But you can have fun with it, Bring back like the thing, create a finisher, maybe some more options and stuff like that. There are a few ease of access options that, in my opinion, are kind of sucky. One thing that really annoys me in universe mode is if you want to turn the entrance off, you have to turn it off per each match. You can't just go right, no entrances. It still does it. And another thing that really bothers me is in universe mode, there's no option to go to next match. Every time you do a match, it just says back to thing. Yeah, I get it because of the rivalry thing to sort of show you what the rivalry option is going to be, but why not just have a next match option? It was in showcase mode. Why can't you just do that in universe mode? Just some things that are really sort of tidbits here and there that I think we need to bring back. Sorry about the noise. Definitely, I think that's something I would like to see, and that. So my predictions for what who the showcase person is. There's been a lot of talk about Bray Wyatt, which I think would be great because, of course, Bray Wyatt unfortunately passed away last year at a young age. Rest in peace. But I can foresee one problem with that, and that is, unless they've already done it, I don't know, before he passed away, it would have to be done like as a dedication showcase mode. So in 2K23, you see John Cena doing like an interview before he came out talking about it. And I did like that the showcase mode actually you weren't actually playing as John Cena, you were doing matches that he lost, which I really enjoyed. But so the only way that I could see that working is if you were doing it with Bray Wyatt, for example, it would be other people talking about these matches. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bray Wyatt's had a fantastic career, and we could get different versions of Bray Wyatt, of course, the early Bray Wyatt, Wyatt family era, then obviously the Eater of World Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, for example, the Bray Wyatt Funhouse, but the only problem I have is that I don't know how WWE are going to go about getting the rights to like John Huber, aka Luke Harper, Eric Rowan. I don't think Eric Rowan would have, or Eric Redbeard, whatever you want to call him these days. I don't think he would have a problem getting involved in that. I think they could probably get the rights to Eric Rowan, no problem. But with John Huber, Luke Harper, Brody Lee, whatever you want to call him, I think that one would be kind of. I'm not 100% sure how they would feel about it because obviously he went to AEW. I know WWE did sort of honour him not long after he passed away, and they mentioned him. I think it was at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes gave John Huber's son the belt thing, and they did mention who it was. But that's one thing that I think why I don't think it's going to be Bray Wyatt, but they could surprise us. Of course, Randy Orton is another big one. I think we've had Rey Mysterio, we've had John Cena. Randy Orton, kind of a big one, of course. Obviously, he has returned to WWE. And I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Randy Orton sort of at the stage that John Cena is. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Randy Orton as much as we used to. I know a lot of people were thinking Edge, but obviously we know what Edge did. He jump boat to AEW, which fair enough. I think realistically, if I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's either going to be. I mean, Bray Wyatt would be awesome. I think it's either going to be Triple H or Randy Orton. And I'd be happy with either one of them. Shawn Michaels would be another one. I mean, there's so many people that we could see from a showcase mode. Shawn Michaels. I know that I think Cody Rhodes is the cover star for 2K24, which, you know, of course, there's so many other ones you could see. We could see Roman Reigns, of course. You know, Seth Rollins, you know, but I've noticed with WWE, they're tending to do the showcase mode based on people that are what I would like to call, even though their career in WWE is still there, I think it's more based on people that aren't as frequent in WWE. So you're not going to see like a showcase mode of like, I don't know, like Carmelo Hayes or you know, someone like that. But maybe they could surprise us. Maybe they could do a showcase mode for a male and female character. You know, maybe Charlotte or Rhea Ripley. You know, there's so many options with the showcase mode, as well as some predictions that I think what sort of people I think we're going to get in the game. Obviously, it's going to be an updated roster, but a lot of people don't realise this. It's not actually based on this year, it's based on last year. So with sports games, it's always based on, even though they're calling it 2K24, it's actually based on the year of 23. Because the games are made throughout 2023 and obviously come out in 24. So it's the same with 2K23, all of the pay-per-view and events and roster and you know, stuff like that. That's why we have people like Edge in last year's game. I don't think we'll see Edge in this year's game. We might not. Of course, you know, there will be some returning people that I think we will see this year. CM Punk, I think we will see CM Punk. That could be another one for showcase mode. CM Punk. Now that he's back in WWE, I think we could see a CM Punk one. It depends, really. You know, I'd like to see some more attitude era and ruthless aggression. You know, a lot of people have said we've had an attitude era WWE game, but we've not really had a ruthless aggression one in the modern era. You know, to be fair, you know, WWE23 has a fairly decent amount of new people, current superstars. As well as you know, some legends and stuff like that, and obviously you do have there's like 12 different versions of John Cena, and that. So obviously, I think CM Punk is going to be an obvious choice this year, and that. So we'll probably see a lot of these new superstars from 2023. Obviously, updated roster, updated, you know, attire and all of this. So either way, I am looking forward to 2K24. Like I said, I've just beaten the showcase mode, and I had a good time doing that actually. I'm going to probably start My Rise at some point this week. I want to try and at least do My Rise and then maybe finish a year's worth of universe mode before moving on to my next game. I just thought, so there are my 5 things that I'm hoping to see from 2K24. Are you guys looking forward to WWE this year? I think this year I'm actually going to make a point of watching every PLE this year. I don't think I'm going to watch them live. I think the only one that I'm going to watch live this year is WrestleMania. I didn't watch it last year live, and I didn't watch the year before that. So now that obviously I've got more, you know, I don't have to, you know, be woken up at 3 o'clock by the kids at the moment. You know, I know that I can stay up and watch it. I say that, but I still go to bed at a decent, you know, time. I don't stay up in the late hours of the night. But yeah, just a quick little update. But yeah, so who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble? Personally, I think it's probably going to be CM Punk. Here's how I think we're going to play out this year. I think Roman Reigns will lose his championship either possibly at the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, because The Rock will get involved. I think Cody Rhodes he'll lose it to Randy Orton. I think Cody Rhodes will face Randy Orton and complete his story, so to say. I think Seth Rollins will be CM Punk's opponent at WrestleMania. And then I think we're going to get Roman Reigns versus The Rock. I think that's kind of obvious from what we've seen so far. So I am looking, if that is the case, I think it will be a pretty decent WrestleMania. But that's my prediction for the Royal Rumble. Who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble? I'm going with CM Punk, but could surprise us. Maybe it could be Cody Rhodes with the obvious one. But yeah. But anyway, I just thought I'd leave it there. I just thought I'd start off saying that I did finish Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This will be my next video. I'm gonna do a review on this, a full in-depth review on this. I'm just gonna start off by saying that love this game, fantastic. I'll talk more about it in my next video. Yeah. So as of me, like I said, I've got a few things that have been sorted out. I've got some stuff being sorted out this week. I've got my dentist at the end of the month. I've been having problems with one of my tooths, but luckily it's nothing too serious. It's just I won't go into details, but it's nothing serious. But that's all set in stone now. So over these next few months, obviously things are progressing and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm gonna chill out for a little bit now, do my stuff on my mobile and that, and then I'm going to watch some South Park tonight. I'm going to be checking out another show called Soul Land, which is like a Chinese animated show, and then I'm going to watch some South Park tonight. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. Let me know in the comments below, are you going to be picking up WWE 2K24, and what do you want to see from it? And do you think these predictions and what I'd like to see, I think I've been quite reasonable with what I've said. But we'll see how it goes. And as always, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.